Well, the weekend is coming to an end, but it does not mean, as always, we end things right here. So, as you know, for this particular day, we do have, of course, Stardom, with returning back to Korakuen Hall. Now, nothing too significant about this particular event. However, certain matches are interesting. I think many of you are going to like. And then, of course, we move on with NXT Heatwave. And for the record, I kind of forgot about this, so that means I have to give myself a slap in the head for that. But anyway, as you know, we have some interesting matches that are taking place. Mostly, we only have all championship matches on the line. The NXT Women's North American title, the Men's North American title, tag team titles, the Women's title, and of course, the NXT title. So the real question is, will we see title changes in this particular event? Well, we are going to see and find out. But first things first, we're going to be reviewing something that goes back all the way back from June. Now, those who know this, every year or certain times in Japan, we will see the women from CML participate with wrestlers from the Japanese wrestling scene, most specifically the Yoshi wrestlers. So we have, of course, CML Ladies Ring with Lucha Fiesta 2. Now, this one features very interesting matches as well, but the main event features the CML Japan Women's Championship defended. We have Dark Silhouette defends her belt against everybody's favorite eel, Unagi Sayaka. So that's right, she'll be getting another championship match, but this one is a very interesting one. I guess many of you are going to like. And then, of course, we cap it up with our episode with some news updates. This one's going to be a very short one, but we will detail on what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, and including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world where pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also do more news updates. If certain information I'm unable to put it on this episode, I can either put it on the next episode or on a separate video by itself. We also do real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also do the Unagi Sayaka watch and various other cool things as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. So now, all introductions are set aside. I believe it's time to rock and roll. So let's begin with our very first review, and this is coming back from all the way in June. This is the CML Ladies Ring. Okay, CML Ladies Ring. Now, before we begin reviewing the entirety of this event, now some of you may ask yourself, what the hell is this one about? Well, it's a very simple question. Now, certain ladies in the women's division in CML, most specifically, we have seen certain ones that go to Japan and do an event here and there, especially when they try to find out to set up a tournament who will be the lucky recipient to appear in the Grand Prix Amazonia, which is, of course, their annual tournament for the women's division, even get international wrestlers. So basically, we have those. I normally don't. I never seen any of these events. Just to be all clear with all of you, but however, I was able to watch this one because I've always been curious about it because it's sponsored by CML. You know what I mean? CMLL, because that's the main reason. But however, I had to watch it. But yes, so I had I was just curious. So let's just get started because this is going to be a fun event. Now, like as I said, this took place in Shinkiba on June 28th. So right now we're in July. Bear with me, people. Now, our first match, we have women's tag team action. We have Bani Oikawa. She teams up with Morika Kobashi. Their opponents are none other than Yuna Manase and Sumika Yanagawa. Now, any of you people know who these wrestlers are. Bani Oikawa, you may have seen her back in the day when she was wrestling with Ice Ribbon, and recently she's been mostly pairing as a wrestler and ref with Gambari. So it's a very interesting, and of course Marika Kobashi. Oh, hold on. Kobashi, yeah, you may have known her from Tokyo Show Pro Wrestling, but she's mostly been freelancing a lot and also doing some modeling gigs out in Osaka. Originally, she's been living in Tokyo, so that explains a few things. But their opponents, you may know Yuna Manase. You may know her as a wrestler from At-Risk Girls. She's the sole trainer of certain wrestlers like Tam Nakano, Natsupoi, Sayuro Nui, Nao Kakuta, Unagi, Michael Ozaki, Tae Honma, and various others. So that practically was it is, and of course Sumika Yanagawa. You may know her from GTO. She is of course tag team partners with Misa Kagura, known as 1111. So that explains it. But the match itself was okay. But I had that distinct feeling that, of course, because Yuna Manase is a veteran wrestler, she knew exactly what she was going to do. But how this match was going to go, that's beyond me. But unfortunately, this match ended with, of course, Sumika applying a face plant, kind of like a pile driver or super, right in the face, where she picked up Bani, and just like that, it was over. So, Yuna Manase and Sumika Yanagawa picked up the win for her team. Now, our next match, this is a very interesting one. People have their faces painted half dead, kind of like Diaz de los Muertos, or as we say in English, Day of the Dead. We have Tae Honma, Yuko Sakurai, and of course Makoto. Now, Tae Honma, those who know this, she did a tour with CML before for the Grand Prix a couple years ago. Yuko Sakurai, well, this her first time participating, but she had one of her closest friends and of course teammate from Colors, Hikari Shimizu. As you know, she also did a tour in Mexico, and they faced again. And also they had Makoto. Makoto recently did last year a tour with them too. So basically, it's interesting. However, the real question is how this is gonna go. I was a bit more like, okay, I'm not sure where this is gonna be, but it was a pretty good match, which every other person was involved. But unfortunately, this match ended in a time limit draw after expiring the 10 minutes. So I'm sure many of you would think it's a little horse crap that it ended in 10 minutes, but it is what it is. It's over. Now, our next match, this one's a very fun one. We have, of course, another tag team, and we have Chi-Chi and Zones from Evolutions. But the beauty part about this match is, of course, they decide to wear masks because it is CML. I mean, if you're not a fan of that, you know you want to wear a mask. And of course, their opponents are Honoka. She's a masked wrestler based out of Pro Wrestling Wave. Same thing to Kahuko. As you know, she is also from Wave, but she doesn't wear a mask. But she's wearing a mask for this particular day. However, I felt like this match had a most dominance factor with Hanako and Kahuko, because reason is these ladies have more experience than Chi-Chi and Zones combined. I mean, don't forget, Chi-Chi and Zones, they debuted over a year ago so far, and they have had wins here and there, but they haven't had like the much successful wins in their entire career. But as any other type of match, this one ended as well in a time limit draw, but instead of 10 minutes, it was 15 minutes. But however, things were coming clear when Hanukkah decided to continue attacking Chi-Chi, try to take off her mask. But Chi-Chi playing along as like, don't take off my mask. Well, She played pretty well on that, so that's pretty fun. Now, before anything else, those who know this, I mentioned this before. Bani Oikawa, as you know, she is in fact a wrestler, but recently she has been participating in a ref. So in the last two matches, in the semi-main event and the main event, she has played referee for both matches. So I have to say she has done a good job. But now our semi-main event features, of course, Peach Star herself, Momo Kohgo from Stardom, taking on La Amampola. Now, those who know this or not, prior before Momo Kohgo has ever went to Stardom, she did a tour with, of course, with Tsukasa Fujimoto, and I forgot who's the other one, who also was an Ice Ribbon at the time. The three of them did a tour in Japan, and Momo Kohgo enjoyed her time there. She does speak a little bit of Spanish since then. There was this one funny moment when she was in a match against Rhythm from GTO. She thought that Rhythm is from Mexico, but she's not. But nonetheless, it was a pretty good, strong match for her because, as you know, she had a great time, and I thought it was a great moment for her to be back participating with CML once again. And I think that's something very special for her. But unfortunately, she did not get the win. She ended up in a tombstone by Amapola, and just like that, it was over. Now, our main event, we have, of course, CML's Japan's Women's Championship. We have Unagi Sayaka as the challenger facing the champion Dark Silhouette. So it's very great to see this. Now, this is a very good opportunity. Now, don't forget, Unagi does have a championship in her possession, which is the Kitsune Women's World Championship that she won from the Kitsune promotion based out of LA. So it's interesting that she may get another belt on this one, but the match was pretty darn intensified, of course. I don't think Unagi has ever wrestled anybody from Mexico, but this is a good opportunity for her because I think many people would say, "Will we ever see her down in Mexico?" If I have any Spanish-speaking subscribers from Mexico, they probably would say, "I'd rather see Unagi there. I would like to see Unagi there." So that would be great. But Unagi did a pretty good job in this match. She actually surprised me when she picked up the win when she applied the flatliner, and just like that, she's our brand new CML Japan Women's Champion. So I don't know if we ever see her down in Mexico, but it would be great to see her there. But she also conducted a promo, talked to Dark Silhouette. Silhouette actually showed her some respect. But here's something what you guys don't know. Now, I was originally going to put this on the Unagi Sayaka watch, but on this side I'm going to spoil for some of you for this one. If you guys remember recently, there was a situation where, of course, the whole DDT Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Championship. Well, Unagi actually won that belt again, and she actually, I forgot who she beat that belt from. I'm trying to remember. But yes, I will do that. But however, the entirety of the entire event, backstage, they were actually people that actually won that belt. However, this is what happened. After she reclaimed that belt, she actually lost the belt to Stefan, her stuffed dino. So basically, the dino actually won the belt. And then, of course, there was another person. Let me pull up that information real quick because I know I have saved it just for this occasion. Here it is, I think. Oh yeah, now I remember. Unagi actually won it from a whip. You know, the... Yeah, I'll get to that at the Unagi Sayaka watch. I'll get to that. So she won that belt from that. It was in the Liddit headquarters, which is the owners of GLEAT. So that's what happened. So she lost the belt when she was taking a nap. And well, of course, Stefan the dinosaur was there. And Bani Oikawa, who was the ref, actually did the 3 count. So she lost the belt. However, Stefan was sitting in a chair and then was blasted upon by someone named, a Mexican tour's name, Hanazawa. So Hanazawa actually pinned Stefan, winning the belt. And then, of course, Hanazawa showed off her belt. And then back in the backstage, she lost the belt against Tae Honma. So basically, that's what happened. So Tae Honma won the belt. And then of course, once again, Tae Honma lost the belt against a person named Matsusawa. Very typical that happened. And then this is what happened afterwards. Matsusawa lost the belt against Yuna Manase, and then after Yuna Manase won, this was during the post match at the main event. Yuna Manase won the belt by pinning Yatsuzawa, and then of course Yuna Manase lost the belt to Unagi. So I thought that was very interesting. But yeah, so that's what happened. But I will reveal a little bit about that on the Unagi Sayaka watch. But yeah, so that's what happened in the entirety of the event. So basically, Unagi went back to another Triple Crown champion again. So I think that's pretty much it what happened. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. I don't know if I'll be able to do another one, but just enjoy it. But right now, let's move on with Stardom. Okay, Stardom. They return back to Korakuen Hall for this particular day. Now, let's begin. Now, it opened up with, of course, with the president of Stardom, Taru Okada. Now, Okada, as you know, I mentioned this during the last episode on the news updates section. Taru Okada actually gave updates on upcoming events coming up soon for this month, including, of course, the announcement that Hanako will be spending uh, August doing an American tour. As I said before, the possibility that she will be joining Mina Shirakawa for this tour, because we do know Mina Shirakawa's name was not mentioned throughout the entire for the 5-star Grand Prix, so it would make sense. But now that information's out, so let's begin with our first match. Our first match was originally supposed to be a tag team match, but it was later changed um, into a three-way match. We have the rookie Rian versus Rana Yagami versus Lady C. Now, if you guys notice, the last time we saw Lady C, she cut her hair and she went to hairstylist. She went and cut her hair and went shorter. So, if you guys noticed that, but however, the match was okay. Not a big timing. But however, we do know that recently we have seen yet Rana Yagami and Lady C teamed up before, due to the fact that there is the possibility we could see Lady C join a God's Eye after she was expelled along with 3 others from Queen's Quest. But however, we will see what happened. But it was Lady C who picked up the win with Rian, and just like that, it was completely over. So now our next match, we have Sayaka Kurara taking on Tekla. Now, those who know this or not, Tekla went on the face of Sayaka, wanted to hurt her because she has been declaring that the idols need to be obliterated from existence. That's what she was doing the entirety of this match with Kurara. So Tekla was brutalizing Kurara the entire. But however, Kurara, who had a lot of guts, did the unthinkable. She actually put herself in a double countout with Tekla, and the match ended just like that. No one won this match, but Tekla decided to put a little hurt onto Kurara, and Kurara just took it like a champ no matter what it took. But of course, referee tried to break her. But the fans were giving Kurara a standing ovation, realizing she stood up against a psychopath. And of course, but of course, during the post-match comments, Kurara says, "I haven't lost." So that's true. She did not lose this match. I mean, you guys remember she did won that match by default, by disqualification against Natsuko Tora, but it could show that Kurara is a strong individual. But as for Tekla, I did mention this. Tekla went too far and attacked a female staffer and resulted of her suspending. But however, she will not be participating in any of the Stardom events for this weekend, and she'll be getting a pay cut for this. So we'll see what happens from here on out. Now our next match, we have Cosmic Angel members Aya Sakura and Yuna Manase. They take on Hina and Saki Kashima. Now, some of you may notice something odd about this. Now, as you know, Hina is one of also another Queen's Quest member that was expelled due to that loss that took place um, uh, uh, back in not too long ago. However, it seems that Saki Kashima is very fond of her for some odd reason. Uh, but however, I know we know Saki Kashima has usual tricks to find a way to pick up her wins, but this time it did not work. But however, she did bounce back, all thanks to the help of Hina, who actually picked up a huge win when she applied some sort of a suplex onto Sakura, and just like that, picked up the win. So we will see what happens. Hopefully, Hina can accept God's eye, and hopefully in the future we can see that. Now, our next match, we have, of course, another Miyu Amasaki teaming up with Mei Seira. As you know, Amasaki, also another member that was expelled from Queen's Quest, teams up with Mei Seira. They take on EXV's Waka Tsukiyama and Xena. However, this was another good opportunity match of every type because I did not anticipate what was going to happen. But it was pretty good. I mean, Mei Seira got her twisted around by Xena, but of course it was Mei that picked up the Rolling Star onto Waka, allowing herself to pick up the win. So it was a huge win, and it seems like things are going well for both Amasaki and, of course, Azumi. You know, possibly, maybe, hopefully one day, looking forward to join the new faction the Starlight Kid is starting. Now, our next match, we have, of course, Oedo Tai, consistent of Fukigen Death, Rina and Natsuko Tora, taking on star members Momo Kohgo, Koguma, and Azuki. Now, those who know this, it was, of course, it was Azuki's 10th anniversary as a pro wrestler, so it's great that she's getting to celebrate. And of course, you probably would think, yes, this would be a celebration if she wins. It kind of did, because we know that Oedo Tai, they have some usual tactics that they do. They like to brutalize their opponents, but it was Azuki that picked up the win when she applied the Senton Bomb onto Fukigen Death. And just like that, it was over. And of course, Azuki applied a pretty good promo to her fans about her 10th anniversary. So it was great to hear that from them. Now, our next match, we have the core members of the Cosmic Angels, more specifically Natsupoi, Saori Nui, and Tam Nakano. They take on God's Eye members Amisori, Koguma, and of course Suri. So you would think this is going to be an interesting match. Now, we do know certain histories. Now, we know Natsupoi and Suri do have history. Natsupoi and Suri, that's history with Amisori, that sort of thing. But it was a pretty impressive match. But however, it was Natsupoi who finally got her revenge on Amisori when she applied the fairy brink onto Amisori, getting that match. Now, there are people that, when they said about this match with Saruno, Natsupoi, and Tam Nakano, some say that these three should be able to compete for the artist belts. I mean, why not? I mean, they are the core members. They should be able to. I'm sure many of you would like to see that. Now, our next match, we have Oedo Tai, consistent of Raka and Momo Watanabe. They take on Starlight Kid and Azumi. Now, we have seen Azumi and Starlight Kid team up on a few occasions. However, as you know, Starlight Kid and Azumi do have a deep history. They're both from the same class. They've been rivals. And of course, Starlight Kid, instead of being her rival now, she wants her to be on the same team as her, because they kind of can coexist together. And you would think this would work. It kind of did, because in the end, we did see, of course, Starlight Kid applied a moonsault onto Raka, and just like that, it was over. But of course, Oedo Tai, with their usual tactics, they attacked Starlight Kid and Azumi. But luckily, Mei Seira and Miyu Amasaki had enough. So basically, this is a good thing. And I'm sure this is going to be a bad thing for Oedo Tai, now seeing that Azumi and Amasaki are joining, the possibility of joining of Starlight Kid and Crazy Star's upcoming faction. Now, we don't know the name yet, but we'll get to that at some point down the road. Now, our main event, we have star members consistent of Saya Ida, Hanan, and Mayu Iwatani taking on Sai Kamitani and, of course, EXV's co-leaders, Mina Shirakawa and Maika. So, as you know, Saya Kamitani has been in rivalries with both Mina and Maika in the past. As you know, Kamitani lost the white belt to Mina, and of course, Saya Kamitani defeated Maika when she was the white belt champion, but she was unable to defeat Maika as the current red belt champion. But the combination between all three of them was very interesting. However, we do know a while back we were supposed to see Kamitani and Mina team up, but it never happened. But this time you can tell this match was going to be really good. But Hanan, as you know, being the future ace of Stardom, well, she was the one who suffered the loss, all thanks to Kamitani with the Star Crusher. So basically, just like that, they won. Now, we do know that Maika said she would love nothing more than Kamitani to join EXP, but I highly doubt that because Kamitani is all about Queen's Quest. But we'll see what happens down the road with Kamitani, and I'm sure many of you will probably be excited about that. So we just gotta wait and see. So as of right now, I think we are done with Stardom. Let's move on with our last and final review, NXT Heatwave. Okay, our last and final review, NXT Heatwave. This is in Toronto. Now, I know many people have a high anticipation for this event, so let's begin. As I mentioned before, all matches on the main card are championship matches. Our first one is, of course, the North American title. Wesley as our challenger taking on Obafemi. Now, remember, Wesley not too long ago injured himself and he had to relinquish the belt. Now, he does by default has a right to have another opportunity for the belt due to the fact that he never lost it. So that led to a three-way match not too long ago in the last pay-per-view with NXT led to this. So this is his last chance to obtain it. However, if he does not win, that means he will never get another chance as long as Obafemi is champion. But the bigger they are, the bigger they fall, which of course tells that story. This is a David versus Goliath type. So you would question, can Wesley actually put away a gigantic dude? Well, I have to say he could definitely try because the only thing he has in his well, two things he does have that would probably allow him to win. One is his speed. That is something he can rely on. And two is his heart. You know, he may be small, but don't count out his big heart. That's always been interesting. However, we thought he had this match won when he applied the cardiac kick, but Obafemi kicked out. But of course, Obafemi was able to retain the belt when he applied the pop-up power bomb, and just like that, it was completely over. So, wow, it was a fantastic match. Now, speaking of North America, now we have, of course, the women's North American title. We have Soruka versus Kelani Jordan. Now, remember, these two ladies were in the ladder match that crowned the brand new champion. And of course, Kelani Jordan was the one who won. She did have a defense for this belt against Michi. But however, Kelani Jordan decided, she was going to defend this belt against Soruka because she knows the kind of wrestler Soruka can be. We have seen Soruka. She is a fantastic wrestler, very athletic, and of course, she continues to surprise us no matter what. I mean, who could forget when she applied the Soul Snatcher the first time? And you think she wouldn't surprise us? Well, she did. She did like a 450 lariat. I'm like, what the hell? She continues to surprise me. I don't know about you guys, but wow. But Kelani Jordan, as you know, said she wants to make this belt as a prestigious belt. And, she has every right to say that. And she wants to show the world, yes, she can hold on to the belt. There are others that say that she didn't deserve to be the belt. That especially like Jada Parker. But, however, it was, of course, Kelani Jordan with the leg split moonsault that allowed her to pick up the win. Now, our next match, this is for the NXT Tag Team title. We have the guys from Chase U, Professor Andre Chase, and the MVP, Duke Hudson, without, of course, the support of Ridge Holland after he got caught. But they did have Riley Osborne, and they held it by their side. But however, their opponents are Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Now, we know there have recently been, let's say, concerns over the fact that recently we did see Nathan Frazier focus on other things other than defending the tag belts. But the real question is, can they coexist try to be on the same page of some sort? Well, you would think there were some mistakes. There were some miscues between Frazier and Axiom. You would have thought this would have been like the downfall between them, but no. But I have to say, the match was fantastic. Like, you thought Chase U had this one right in the back, but they were able to overcome all odds, overcome the miscues and all that. So Frazier and Axiom picked up the win, all thanks to the golden ratio by Axiom to Professor Chase, and just like that, they retain the belts. Now, our next match, we have the NXT Women's Championship, Lola Vice versus Roxanne Perez. Now, Roxanne Perez has been telling the entire world that no one can beat her for this belt, and Lola Vice claims that she can do it. Of course, Carmen Petrovic did mention before that, of course, you can't look away what she did at the NXT Underground against Shayna Baszler, all that, which is obviously true. You can't overlook that, but Roxanne did overlook it. But of course, you would think that maybe Lola Vice would have been that one person to dethrone her. But no, Roxanne Perez, with her vicious streak, was able to retain the belt when she applied the Pops Rocks. And she did state it, no one in the world can take this belt. But however, many of us are starting to think there is one person that will be. And this could be her downfall. So we will see what happens. Now, our next match is for the NXT Championship in a fatal four-way. Now, originally there was been a lot of controversy what's been going on. Now, remember, there was a 25-man battle royale. Originally, we thought that Javon Evans was the one who won. However, Ethan Page did plead in the case that he was not eliminated, all thanks to Oro Mensah. So that kind of puts it in a perspective. So we had Shawn Spears, Javon Evans, that want to challenge Trick Williams, so they pled their case. So Ava Reigns made the only logical choice to make this into a four-way. So that's exactly what happened. Now remember, in this match, Trick Williams doesn't technically have to be pinned. But man, this match was out of control and all that. You would thought there were some moments that Trick Williams was the lucky. There was a moment Javon Evans helped Trick to ensure this match ends with him. But however, there was a bit of an interesting ending. Trick Williams applied two trick shots, one on Javon Evans, the other one on Ethan Page. But however, because Shawn Spears was unaware of what was going on, he pulled Trick Williams. But when Javon was already down on the ground after being hit with the trick shot, Ethan Page later got trick shot and landed right on top of Evans, and he picked up the win by a very interesting circumstances. Trick Williams was livid, like he cannot believe that this happened. And of course, we know Trick Williams could ask for a rematch. That is obvious because technically he was not pinned. But I don't know if you guys saw this or not. We did saw a little something. That's right, Joe Hendry. Will he show up? Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he challenged Ethan Page, but we will see what happens until then. So I think right now we are done with all our reviews. So let's move on with, of course, our last and final thing, news updates. Okay, welcome to our news update. So this is what we have for all of you. Now let's begin with, of course, updates with upcoming events, with the promotions. Now we only have two of them. Now, as you know, later on this coming week, we have, of course, on July 17th, Kitsune Women's Wrestling in LA with the upcoming event Shugo. They just announced recently that Marina Tucker has been unable to appear for this particular event. I mean, this is a very short notice, but however, they did announce a replacement, and the replacement is Brooke Havoc. Great choice, so we will see what happens until then. Now, as you know, they announced for West Coast Pro has announced for their Friday the 13th event that will take place exactly on September 13, 2024, on a Friday. So that's going to be interesting. However, they did announce just now two wrestlers that will participate. We have Mika Alana will be there, and Juicy Finau. So that's pretty interesting to hear. Now for some developments. Now, those who know this or not, on July 12th, I believe that's this coming Friday or so, um, we do have, as you know, Prestige Wrestling with their upcoming event, Combat Clash PDX. Now, as a friendly reminder to everybody, if you guys are interested in checking out this event, they did mention that their show will be live on YouTube. So it's free. So if anybody's interested to see Prestige Wrestling for this particular show on Combat Clash PDX, go on YouTube, get your notification to watch this. So you should be able to check it out. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, some interesting developments have come in social media, especially for one, everybody's favorite Dark Order member, Evil Uno. He just announced that he is free for independent duties, signings, seminars, and conventions. Now, it's still unclear whether. Now, it doesn't indicate that he's out of AEW or anything. We would have already heard something by now. But if there's any information about that he's no longer with AEW, I'll let you guys know as soon as possible. Now, many of you may saw what happened this past Saturday. Riho was in a match against Lady Frost. However, she posted on her social media, there's a picture of her with her on Instagram, even on her blog. She does not have Twitter anymore because, thanks to, of course, haters out there, she did announce that she fractured her arm, but she's doing okay. Now, she hasn't given any specific details how long she'll be out. So we will see what happens from here on out until then. So as of right now, I think that's pretty much it. Now, our current champion in Stardom, Maika, as you know, she's been. Let me pull this out real quick. She has been, Maika responds to criticism of Stardom having title matches in other promotions. So she said she wants to face wrestlers from outside, like Hashimoto from Sendai's or someone from Tokyo Pro. So basically, she's like feeling like she's being left out of the conversation. You know, I mean, we do know this on the 15th of July, she will be defending the red belt in GTO against her sister. You know, not her real life sister, in case anybody has Tomoka Inaba, since they were trained together. So and this is what she said. If we don't try new things, the industry will not change or expand. You can't help think. It is fun to watch them doing something. We are in the Riara era now. I think it's good to liven up the industry and further invigorate the fighting spirit of the wrestlers. Also, there are a lot of people I like to fight, so I'm willing to go out fight them. For example, Chihiro Hashimoto from Sendai Girls or Tokyo Pro Wrestling. So she feels like she's being left out. We do know that the white belt will be defended on that 15th. Saranui will be hopefully to reclaim the belt against Mika Wada, but we will see. So I feel like Maika likes to complain a lot that she's not being at the top of the conversation. If you guys remember, she had a problem that people were talking about Julia leaving. She felt that nobody wants to challenge her for the red belt. I think she's like being left out. I mean, do you think that maybe there was a mistake in some way, that putting her as a red belt champion was a mistake? I mean, I can't speak on that. I feel like some people may think that way, but you guys tell me. So I think that's pretty much it for our news updates. I believe it's time to call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, I haven't decided yet what to do because it is on a Monday. But I will be doing a special announcement later on until, possibly after this video's out, because I think this one is one where you guys don't want to miss out. But yes, we'll see what happens. But for our next episode, I don't know. I'm just going to wing it, just to be honest with you guys. So I think that's pretty much it what we have. So I believe I will see you guys on the next episode. So I will say this. See you on the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.